What is up, you guys? Wraith here, back with another video. Now in today's video it's going to be kind of a cool one, a little bit more fun than anything, not going to be educational or anything, just more for fun and so you guys know a little bit more about Fortnite. But we're going to be talking about the 7 most broken or overpowered weapons or items that's ever been in Fortnite. Some of them are in this game right now, some of them have been vaulted, and some of them were at the very start of when Fortnite came out. But yeah, this video is definitely interesting. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure you smash that like button, and let's get right into the video. So coming in at number 7, we have the X4 Stormwings, or as most people refer them to as the planes. Now this is in Fortnite right now as I'm speaking. It may be taken out in the future. A lot of people are hoping it's taken in the future, it may be vaulted, but these at the start when they first came out were absolutely overpowered. You could basically stay in the very top of the circle for the entire time and just rain down bullets and probably get 5 to 7 kills without leaving the storming the entire time. At first, when when someone broke the plane, you wouldn't take any damage, and the aim was unbelievable on it. It was a small reticle, and you could just build kids for 200 damage without even blinking. But now they've made it where if someone breaks a plane while you're in it or you're driving it, it'll do 50 damage to you. And yeah, so that made it a little bit more countered, which is a little bit more nice. And then at the very start of it, people would just ram into buildings, and they would just throw whoever was in those buildings or whoever was in the 1x1s hundreds of feet, and they die fall damage. Well, now they did, if you ram into things with a plane, the plane's going to take more damage, like a ton of damage, and the person won't shoot as far. So they have nerfed this plane where almost it's not as overpowered, but it's still very overpowered. A lot of people still use it, and they can camp the final couple circles just being in the plane without any kills. A lot of pro players have asked to have this taken out. Honestly, for me, I don't mind it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's pretty cool. I like how they have made it a little bit underpowered, or less powered than what it was. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most controversial items they've ever released in Fortnite. A lot of people say it's overpowered. A lot of people say it's not overpowered anymore. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you like the Stormwing or not, and let's get right into number 6. So for number 6, we have the guided missile. Now, for some of you that played back then, you'll know how OP this gun was when it first came out. When it first came out on March 14th, it did 105 to 110 damage, and you could, I'll show it on the screen right now, you could control this thing unbelievable. It was extremely fast, you could control it so easily, like, you could make it go basically anywhere you want without it exploding. And it was just so simple to control, and it was so easy to kill people who were based up or just running in circle. If you just simply based up and edited a window or edited your stay or something so you could shoot out of it, you could basically kill anyone in the town or anyone in the final circle where you were at. 110 damage, you just keep going over and over and over again. And eventually they did nerf this a little bit, so they made it where it was slower and you could barely even move it. So it was way too underpowered. You could barely even move it, and they brought down the damage. So they did underpower it a lot more. Like, it was honestly not even be able to be used. So they did end up vaulting it because honestly just so much updates and changes with it, and people were just like, it's honestly not even worth it anymore. So Fortnite did end up vaulting it. But yeah, so let's get right into number 5. So number 5, we have another explosive, and it was also released on the 14th of March, and it's the remote explosives. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these on streams or played it when the game came out, but at first it was extremely underpowered, which a lot of you guys probably won't know. Not that many people used it. It was just didn't do much damage. It'd maybe take one wall with it, and then they realized that it was such an underpowerment and that no one really used it, that they just overpowered it to a point where it's just unbelievable. They made it so it would take down entire buildings. So like, you could use 4 or 5 C4s and you could take down all of Castle or Trump or whatever you want to say in Tilted. It just did so much damage, and then they nerfed it again, and then they put it a little bit higher so it would do damage, because it was almost unusable like it was at the start. When they nerfed it, they made it so you could penetrate through people through walls, so you could do damage. And then people just didn't like that, so they ended up vaulting it. And it was also really confusing because they would add it to, they make it 4 per slot, then they made it 8, then they made it 6. So it just kept varying, and there's just so many updates, and so many people had to see what was going on and read the patch notes to make sure they knew what was happening. They did end up vaulting in Season 6, and now it just makes it very much bigger. Coming in at number 4, we have the jetpack. Now this was released the 30th of May, and at the start of this was a very controversial item. A lot of people didn't know if it would be overpowered, underpowered, or what, but a lot of people did like the idea of the jetpack, thinking more along the lines of like how GTA, everyone really wanted the jetpack glitch or whatever, just made the game a lot more fun. But a lot of people were skeptical of how building was the #1 most important thing and what made Fortnite what it is today. And with a jetpack, it turns out you can really just fly up and take away kind of building, and then high ground just became not even important anymore. And it turned out it was a little bit overpowered because people really couldn't build against it. If you had a jetpack, you could build a 1x1 in like 2 seconds, just 10 layers up or whatever, right? So it became a lot overpowered, and Fortnite realized it, and they didn't do enough testing on it. So only with 11 days in, they took it out of the game, and it's vaulted, and it's appeared in LTM limited edition mode. Since then, it's appeared in the close range one. It's appeared in Playground and Creative. I don't know if it's in Playground anymore. I think it's in Creative. But yeah, this was a kind of cool idea. Unfortunately, it didn't stick, and it was a little bit overpowered, but that's how she goes. Coming in at number 3, we have something most of you guys probably tried since it was very recent, was the Infinity Blade. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and this was one of the most overpowered weapons that's ever been inside of Fortnite. So Epic Games released that they wanted to add more mythical weapons following this throughout future updates in Fortnite, but it was very bad timing because they added the Infinity Blade right before a skirmish or whatever that tournament was that all the pros were in, and I forget who it was. I'll show it on the screen right now, but they cut through everyone. They got like 8 kills with it. It was just so overpowered. If you landed on the blade, you would drop a 14 kill game, 15 kill game if you knew how to use it properly. It was just so overpowered. It regened your house. It could jump health. It could jump super far. Like, just a bad idea. They didn't really like. It was not a bad idea. It was a cool idea. It was a cool on paper, but they didn't test it enough to make it fair for everyone to use. And it was an interesting item, but it seems as if they vaulted it recently, but it seems as if they just vaulted all the mythical items, which I thought would have been a cool idea. Depends how overpowered or if they're underpowered or whatever. I just think they need to do a little bit more testing, but unfortunately it is out of the game now. Coming in at number 2, we have the original pump. Now some of you guys may be like, what are you talking about, like double pump, or what are you saying? Not double pump. At the very start of this game, now before probably 90% of you guys started playing, the pump was used as a sniper. Now that probably seems a little bit weird, but I'll show clips on the screen. Basically what you could do is you could shoot guys from 100 meters away, and if you had a headshot, it'd do 48 damage, 78 damage. It was just so overpowered at the start of the game. You could use it close range, you could use it far range. You basically hold the pump as your only weapon inside the entire game, and you'd win if you had enough shotgun bullets. And it was just so overpowered that Epic was like, okay, we need to nerf this now. So I don't know if it was a glitch or a mistake that they did, but it was basically an AR, sniper, and shotgun all mixed together. So they reduced the damage and range of it quite a lot, as you guys probably now know, and it almost does no damage range now. That's why they have the heavy shotgun. But it was definitely a really overpowered gun, and if they didn't change that, who knew what the game would have been today. Now coming in at number 1, we have another very, very old item that you guys probably don't even remember. Some of you guys didn't even know that knew exist. I can only find a couple clips on it, but it was called the Zapatron. Now this was so old, it was back when supply drops first came out in Fortnite, which is right at the start of the game. Like, if you guys didn't play at the start, you never would have seen this weapon. Only a couple people in the game even got to see it. I only think it was in it for a little bit. And basically what it was is you'd get it from the supply drop when the supply drops first came out, and it was basically kind of like a sniper, except when you shoot it, it'd shoot like a bolt of lightning. If it landed anywhere close to the person, instant elimination. You didn't have to hit him, it didn't have to land 0.01 centimeters away from him. If it was anywhere close to the person, he would be eliminated. Now you can see how this is completely overpowered. You didn't need any aim, you didn't need any skill, you could literally just zap it at people and they'd die. But yeah, so that's basically it for the 7 most overpowered or broken weapons in all of Fortnite, or things they've added. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that post notifications, turn it on. It just lets you guys know when I post an update or a video, so you guys can see. Hit that subscribe button so you can see me in my feed, and it helps me out a lot. Hit that like button and comment what you want to see for a future video. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and have a good one, everyone.